In the ancient land of Elyria, tales of heroes and legends were woven into the fabric of life. But none were as powerful or as feared as the story of Kalen and Rhys, two warriors who had made a pact bound by the flames of eternity. Together, they had defended the kingdom from its darkest foes and had become nearly immortal in the eyes of the people. Kalen was known for his fierce courage and his skill with a sword, while Rhys was a master of strategy and sorcery. They were inseparable, like fire and shadow, united by an unbreakable bond. The kingdom flourished under their watchful eyes, and peace reigned for many years. But as the seasons passed, Rhys began to feel the weight of their pact. The flames of eternity that bound them were also a curse, chaining them to a life of constant vigilance, robbing them of the freedom to live a normal life. The kingdom had known peace for decades, and Rhys longed to break free, to find solace beyond the endless cycle of war. One evening, under the blood-red light of a harvest moon, Rhys shared his desire with Kalen. "I want to be free," he whispered, his voice carrying a deep sadness. "We've done our duty, Kalen. I don't want to be tied to this eternal flame anymore." Kalen was silent, his expression hardening as he stared at the horizon. "We made a pact, Rhys. You cannot break it without consequences. The flames bind us to protect Elyria for as long as we breathe." Rhys clenched his fists, the fire of rebellion flickering in his eyes. "Perhaps it's time for someone else to bear the weight of our duty. Why should we be trapped by a decision we made so long ago?" Their conversation ended in anger, and the once inseparable friends began to drift apart. Kalen continued to uphold their pact with unwavering dedication, while Rhys grew more distant, haunted by visions of a life unshackled from their ancient bond. One night, as a violent storm raged over the land, Rhys performed a forbidden ritual. By invoking an ancient spell, he attempted to sever the eternal flames that bound him to Kalen and the kingdom. But the ritual unleashed a dark force, one that had been sealed away by their pact. The spell backfired, tearing open a rift between the realms, and a shadowy creature emerged, a being of pure malice known as the Devourer. The Devourer's arrival brought chaos. It consumed everything in its path, draining the life and light from the land. The skies turned gray, crops withered, and the once peaceful kingdom was plunged into despair. Realizing the terrible mistake he had made, Rhys sought out Kalen, hoping his friend would help him undo the damage. Kalen, though hurt by Rhys's betrayal, could not turn his back on his friend or their kingdom. Together, they faced the Devourer, but they were not the same warriors they once were. The rift between them weakened their unity, and they struggled to fight as one. The battle was fierce. Kalen's sword clashed against the creature's shadowy form, while Rhys summoned all the magic he could muster. But the Devourer was relentless, feeding off their fear and doubt. Just as hope seemed lost, Rhys realized that the only way to defeat the Devourer was to restore the strength of their bond. With a heavy heart, he turned to Kalen, reaching out his hand. "Forgive me," he whispered, his voice filled with regret. "I let my own desires blind me to our duty." Kalen took Rhys's hand, the flames of their bond reigniting with renewed vigor. United once more, they faced the Devourer, their combined strength a beacon of light in the darkness. The flames of eternity surged around them, purging the creature with a force it could not withstand. As the creature dissolved, the land began to heal, life returning to the fields and forests. The kingdom was saved, but their victory came at a cost. The eternal flames that bound Kalen and Rhys began to fade, flickering like dying embers. They had fulfilled their duty, but at a price. The flames granted them a final moment together, a brief flicker of warmth before they were extinguished forever. As their spirits faded into the night, their legacy remained, a reminder of the power of loyalty, sacrifice, and the bond of friendship. And so, in the heart of Elyria, a monument was raised in their honor, and a new generation of warriors pledged to protect the kingdom, inspired by the story of Kalen and Rhys, the warriors bound by the eternal flames.